everyone, thanks so much for joining me for the monthly unpacking video. I just got this big box of figures in the mail. Not 100% sure what's in them. A lot of sites do like a kind of like a holding service where you could order stuff for up to like 6 months or something, and then you could just send everything. So this is a bunch of stuff that I bought over the course of this year. Some of it I remember, some of it I don't, some of it I might be surprised to see, but I'm excited to remind myself of what I got here. So let's get right into it. And so I'm not going to actually unbox any of these figures. This is just sort of like a preview of what's to come. If you see anything in here that looks interesting, or something that you want to see me open, you could definitely comment or send me a message or something like that, and I could definitely sort of prioritize that going forward. Let's try to get this guy on a good angle here. Alright, I'm kind of firing blind here, so let's see what we got first. Alright, so this is the, I don't know exactly, the Sergeant Kororo or Sergeant Frog. It's sort of like a parody manga slash anime of Gundam, but it's actually made by Sunrise, so they could, kind of use Gundam characters and likeness and stuff. It's about obviously this little guy, Sergeant Frog, or Kororo, which is frog in Japanese. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that wrong, and he has a variety of different Gundam suits. This one looks to be based on possibly Unicorn, something from Universal Century. They did a few of these in Robot Spears. It didn't look like they sold particularly well. I think there was like 3 of them, but I'm interested in checking them out. Let's see here. This is another one from Aura Battler Dunbine, which is another series from Tomino, who is the director creator of the original Gundam. I've not actually watched this show. I've played some of the Super Robot Wars, where it's one of the featured anime, but I think the mobile suits look really cool. I'll definitely make sure to watch the entire anime before I start doing the figure unboxings, but there were a few that just looked so cool that I could not wait until I finished watching the show. I did just buy the Blu-ray the other day, so hopefully I'll be watching this sooner than later. This thing is... I just love the designs. Kind of see this right here, which is really nice. The mobile suits in this one kind of have this weird combination of like insectoids and robots, and they're just so unique. They, sometimes you see different robots from different shows, different mechas, and they kind of look the same. But all the ones from Dunbine, they just look so unique. They have these like cool wings and swords and all these different elements that I've bought way too many from a show that I've not even watched yet. And I think there's a few more Dunbine in here as well. I certainly bought a few more. I don't know if they've come yet. Oh, this guy's pretty cool. So this is another one of the Gundams from Gundam Stardust Memory. We did an unboxing some time ago of the GP02. This is the GP01 full burn-in. I think the idea was, so in Gundam Stardust Memory, there's some Zeon soldiers that attack a Federation research facility, and they steal they steal one Gundam, and then sort of the pair Gundam to it. So the Gundam that's stolen by Zeon is piloted by the kind of main villain, and then the Gundam that's still there is piloted by the protagonist of the show. I believe that eventually they work their way back into space, and then they upgrade the GP01 to the full burn-in, and then it kind of gets these like cool thrusters. Actually, I think you could probably see it best over here, that are for fighting in space. Oh, this is just the order bonus. I think there was like a first press bonus if you bought the Sergeant Frog figure. You got like a little frog guy to pilot it, and that's how I could tell it probably wasn't selling very well, because it came out quite some time ago. Let's see, what's the year on this guy? I don't see it on here, but it came out some time ago, and they're still offering the first order bonus, so you can tell that those, definitely the pre-orders didn't sell out, and I obviously doubt that they went to a second selling. You can see a lot of these figures come in bigger, in smaller boxes. Oh, here you go. I want to check this guy out. I think basically anything that you buy that's a Gundam, that's a Bandai Tamashii Nations exclusive that you buy sort of directly from them comes in an outer box as well. Since many of the Tamashii Nation figures aren't available direct from Bandai in the US, although a number of them are. The US shops sell them separately, usually at a highly inflated price. The Japanese shops don't sell them at all because in Japan you could just buy it direct. This is the Phantom Gundam. I'm pretty excited to unbox this guy because there's just so many cool effects. You can see it's just got like all this kind of like, I don't know if you call it phantom energy or exactly what it's called. And this thing actually transforms into that. It's got this kind of cool skull and kind of skull in the middle of it. Make sure I'm pointing to the right place. This kind of skull in the middle of it. Just got a ton of cool effects. I think this is definitely a Gundam that we're going to be opening up sooner than later. Put that back in the box. Let's see what else we got here. Man, there's like an Inception level of like boxings and unboxings. Ooh, this is another cool one. So you've seen a number of these, I think, that I've unpacked. I'm not actually unboxed any of them yet, but another one of the Gelgoog. This is one of the custom kind of like commander models. I can get a better view from the back. I don't necessarily have a particular attachment to this one. This is another one from Stardust Memory. A lot of Stardust Memory today for some reason. Well, I guess because that's kind of where they're up to in the anime line of Robot Spirits. I just thought the color scheme was very unique, so I figured I'd buy it. Looks like there's also some pretty cool effects as well. The version anime line of Robot Spirits, they kind of started it, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and kind of started with just releasing stuff for Mobile Suit Gundam, and then they've sort of been going through the Gundams in order. So, this year they're kind of at about Stardust Memory, which is probably why I've been seeing so much Stardust Memory, especially when I buy new figures and not used stuff either on eBay or somewhere else. I'm kind of unclear exactly where they're going to go next because the Zeta Gundam figures they've been doing as part of the version Ka line, not as the version anime line. So I don't know if they're going to skip over that or if they're going to maybe do some of the, lesser known suits from that series, kind of like the non-Gundam suits in the version anime line. I mean, it's Zeta Gundam, so it seems like they'd be leaving money on the table by not releasing those. A lot of boxes within boxes within boxes. Just want to get all these smaller boxes out of the way. So I'll just keep. That's the rest of it. Side. Put those to the side. Put these to the side. This is a soul of, I don't know how to pronounce it, Soul of Papi Nika. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but it's kind of like a sister line to the Soul of Chogokin, which they have only released, I think, 5 in the series. This is the Swordfish 2 from Cowboy Bebop. Probably do a little bit of a Cowboy Bebop primer / review, but I guess a little sneak peek of that right now. Also, if you've ever seen Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind, the Swordfish 2 is very, very highly... it looks very similar, probably, somewhat influenced by the ships in that movie. This is just Bandai sells these little stands that you could put, sometimes they have like symbols or the name of shows. I try to take them out when they're, relevant. There's like a Gundam Seed one and different ones. They're just a little sign that you could just use that kind of looks cool, especially if you're not using a custom stand that, either has the name of the show or the name of, the mobile suit in question. So just sort of adds a little bit more customization, personalization to your display stand. Oh, this is cool. This one's also sweet. This guy is from Gundam 80 War in the Pocket. It is the Gundam Alex, which is an RX-78 variant. But what's cool about this one is it's got the armor equipment on it. If I could ever get it out of this box. So you can kind of see it is, the pictures on the front of these boxes, they look cool, but they're not super helpful in actually seeing what the figure is. But you can kind of see over here, I think is probably the clearest. Just a bunch of armor on top of the RX-78 NT. There's also, you unfortunately can't see it on the box, but we'll, obviously you'll see it when we do the unboxing later on. There's a lot of cool effect parts. That's really one of the biggest draws of this figure. Let's see, got a few more here. What is this guy? Ooh. This is the RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Perfect Ability Divine Edition. Take a look at that. So there's a lot of Unicorn Gundam figures, lots of different colors that it turns. This one in particular is unique. I think it's actually, it is marked as being from Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, but it's actually from an OVA that came out at some point that I don't think was actually directly related to Gundam Unicorn, but sort of featured a bunch of mobile suits, including the RX-0. This thing is just loaded with equipment. You sort of see here, it starts off as sort of like the full armor version, then it goes into destroy mode, and it has this cool like blue SciComm effect. And it's just got like tons of different weapons. It's got this like super cool hammer thing over here. It's got the giant boosters. This will probably, I think there's a very good chance that this will be the representative figure that I open when I do my Gundam Unicorn primer. All right, we got a few more here. I want to see what this big one is. Oh, okay, yeah. Probably a little bit of a disappointment in my voice there. This is another one of the Aura Dunbine ones. Like I said, they kind of, what I like about them is that they have that cool like insect effect. So it only seemed reasonable that they would make an entire like insect sort of stage set for the figures. So I think it's probably a little clearer on the back. It's basically just these like insects that the Dunbines can sort of stand on and fight. So those should be pretty cool. I'm not 100% sure why, but over the last like 2 or 3 years, they like re-released a lot of the Dunbine stuff. A lot of them like in new, not new color schemes, but sort of like specialized color schemes with like specialized finishes and stuff. So probably watch Dunbine, later this year. And then start doing the unboxings. Get that back on. And last but not least, a lot of tape. I find it always easier to just have a knife. This thing is super cool. So this is a Goof flying test type. I'm a big fan of the Goof, obviously a big fan of Rambaral. What kind of drew me to this one is just the super unique color scheme. I think you can see it well from there, but it's sort of like this like teal blue and like a dark brown. Obviously I don't know exactly what the figure's going to look like, but at least based on the pictures, it looks super awesome. Plus it has a whole bunch of the effect parts that you could use to kind of show it flying. So yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching the video. Normally do unboxings, but this is more of like a little sneak peek of what's to come. I like to do one of these every time I get a big box of figures in the mail. and kind of maybe share in some of the excitement of me opening them up. I think that the highlights for me this time are definitely the full armor NT1. Really looking forward to opening up the Unicorn Perfect Ability Divine, and that goof is also going to be really cool. And I actually am also really excited to dig into this guy a little bit more. I don't know a lot about the Soul of Papinica series, so I'm curious to see how that is similar to Chogokin or Bandai Spirits, and how it sort of fits within the different lines. Anyway, thanks so much for checking out this video. Please check out my other videos. We have some unboxings, have some reviews, and some other interesting stuff, and keep collecting.